Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a report from Cooper Standard Holdings. It's a bit like opening a treasure chest and finding out it's mostly filled with socks, some interesting, some not so much, but we'll dig out the shiny bits together. This report reveals the results of their recent shareholder meeting, including who got elected to the board and how people voted on executive pay. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below, where you can chat with other investors and share your thoughts. First up, a big item from the shareholder meeting, the approval of the Cooper Standard Holdings Inc. amended and restated 2021 Omnibus Incentive Plan. This is basically a plan for how the company will pay its employees, especially the top executives, using things like stock options and bonuses. Think of it as the rules of the game for rewarding people at the company. It's important because it can affect how executives behave and whether their interests line up with those of the shareholders. That's you and me. This was voted on at the annual meeting. Speaking of the annual meeting, let's see how the votes went down. There were over 17 million shares eligible to vote and about 13 million shares were actually cast, either in person or by proxy, which is like voting by mail. This is where the shareholders get to decide important things about the company. One of the key things shareholders voted on was electing the board of directors. These are the people who oversee the company's strategy and make big decisions. The report lists all the candidates who were elected, including John G. Boss, Jeffrey S. Edwards, and several others. For each person, it shows how many votes they got for, against, and how many abstained, alongside broker non-votes, which is an artifact when a broker doesn't have the votes for their clients. Looking at the votes, it's clear that all the nominated directors were elected. They had the support of the majority of voting shareholders. Another important vote was on executive compensation. This is an advisory vote, meaning the company doesn't have to follow it, but it gives them an idea of what shareholders think about how much the top executives are getting paid. The results show that a little over 5 million votes were in favor of the compensation, while just over 3 million were against, with some abstentions. This shows a bit of disagreement among shareholders on whether the executives are being paid fairly. That's a very high amount of against votes. It could be that the company wants to reconsider the pay in the future and align it with their goals. The shareholders also voted to approve Ernst & Young LL as the company's independent accounting firm for the year. This is important because the accounting firm makes sure the company's financial statements are accurate and reliable. It's like having a neutral referee to keep the game fair. The vote was overwhelmingly in favor, with nearly 13 million votes for and only a small number against. This suggests that shareholders are confident in the company's choice of accounting firm. Finally, the shareholders voted on the Cooper Standard Holdings Inc. amended and restated 2021 Omnibus Incentive Plan we mentioned earlier. This vote was also in favor, with over 8 million votes for and a smaller number against. This means the company now has the green light to move ahead with its plan to reward employees with things like stock options and bonuses to encourage performance. Otti are now. Let's zoom out and look at what all this means for Cooper Standard. Let's zoom out and look at what all this means for Cooper Standard. The company seems to be in a pretty stable position. The board of directors are elected, the shareholders are mostly aligned on the company's direction, and the accounting firm has been approved. However, the vote on executive compensation shows that there are some concerns about pay, so the company might want to pay attention to that in the future. One thing to keep in mind is that Cooper Standard operates in the automotive industry, which is facing a lot of changes with the shift to electric vehicles and new technologies. This could create both risks and opportunities for the company. Looking ahead, it will be important to see how Cooper Standard adapts to these changes and whether it can continue to generate value for its shareholders. They'll need to keep a close eye on costs, make smart investments in new technologies, and listen to what their shareholders are saying. Alright, that's our breakdown of Cooper Standard's latest filing. What's your take on these votes and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.